Hello and welcome to week 10 of Friday Football Fever. I'm Jeff Jones, and guys, together we're making history tonight. For the first time to my knowledge, Friday Football Fever is having not one but two games of the week. You see, entering this evening in District 26-6A, we knew that Lake Travis and Westlake were going to the playoffs, but those other two spots were all up for grabs. Hayes, Bowie, Del Valle, and Austin High, any of them could have gone to the playoffs, but those four teams had to fight over those last two spots, and lucky for us, those four teams all ended the regular season against each other today. So instead of picking one matchup, we decided to pick both as our games of the week. We're going to start off with the afternoon kickoff, and that was a showdown between Austin High School and Del Valle.
We love to throw the football, we love to score points, and so they're going to have to stop that, and we'll see how it goes.
Offensively, we're flying around, we're creating turnovers.
Getting stops on third down, turnovers after turnovers. This is probably the best defensive line we've had in a long time.
They might come out and they're like, oh, they're kind of small. But we're going to overwhelm them with our speed.
I honestly don't know when's the last time the Del Valle football program's been to the playoffs, so I mean, it'll be good to be a part of the team that got them there.
Playoff history in Austin High has not been very big, and so we're really trying to rewrite the record books.
I'm just really confident and really excited.
Be prepared because it's not going to be no easy game by any means.
Let's get things moving with our QC Kinetics Game of the Week. For Del Valle and Austin High, it was win or go home for both teams. Down 7-zip, the Cardinals drew the maroon offside, and you know what you do then? You go for the big play. Trent Leary delivered. He would score a few snaps later, and speaking of going for the big play, Austin High went from one end zone to the other in just one play. Future Texas quarterback Charles Wright found Jackson Rush, who rushed for a 90-something yard touchdown. Austin High gets the win in this one, 38-35. So next up, all attention shifted to the game that took place on the field right behind me in Shelton Stadium, and that was Hayes against Bowie. Now, there were several possible outcomes based on what happened on this field tonight. Let me spell it out to you like this. If Hayes won, that meant Hayes and Austin High were going to the playoffs. If Bowie won close, that would mean Bowie and Hayes would go to the playoffs. But if Bowie won by 12 or more, well, that would mean the Bulldogs and the Austin High Maroons would go to the postseason. You got all that? If so, go ahead and reward yourself with a leftover piece of Thanksgiving pie after these highlights. Guys, go ahead and roll the highlights for them. To the field, where the guys at Hayes hope to use some home field advantage to get a win. But on this play, it was Bowie's Jason Gaines who had all the advantages. This twisting catch in the end zone put the Bulldogs on top. The replay shows that sideways 360. He was horizontal to the ground. I don't know what you call that, but I know I'd pull about 17 muscles in my back if I tried it. To the second, where quarterback Diego Tello ran one in from 3 yards out. The Bulldogs entered the half up by 11, but Hayes came roaring back. Quarterback Durand Hill, one of his family members, was just here a moment ago. Durand called his own number and used some power to run it in for 6. And any power that Durand didn't muster up on that score, Nate Green used on his. Hayes scored 15 unanswered points in the second half and won this one 21-14. So Hayes is going to the playoffs, and that's good news for the Austin High Maroons. It means they are going too. You just saw the highlights. You know the score to both games. My friend Emily John Greco. Emily, you've had a huge day. You were actually at both of those games.
I was.
This one that you were on the sideline of, you saw that second half comeback, and you saw Hayes punch their ticket to the playoffs. Tell me what it looked like from your vantage point. What did the coach have to say after the game?
Deb, you know, you mentioned it earlier. You let the people at home get some Thanksgiving dessert if they remembered it all, because you did say a lot. This game was one of those that determined the future of not only the two teams in it, but the surrounding schools like Austin High that we just talked about and that I was at earlier. Bowie needed to win this one in order to advance to the playoffs, and they had a great start, but a late comeback by Hayes crushed those dreams in the fourth. Hayes now heading to the playoffs with a 3-game winning streak, and I had a chance to talk with head coach Les Goad about what that does for this team's confidence.
It gives you that momentum. You know, football is a game of momentum, and definitely that kind of success the last few weeks helps that momentum going in. And right now, you know, just trying to figure out who it's going to be so we can get prepared for it. And we know we'll have 2 weeks because we don't have a game next week, but trying to find out who it's going to be, that'll be the important thing.
4 years in a row, you're playoff bound. How proud are you of this team?
To come back like they did, that was amazing. You know, they persevered all year. We're pretty thin depth-wise. We got a lot of guys going 2 ways, and those guys just really stepped up and made big plays in the second half. Really proud of them. And like I said, 4 years in a row in the playoffs, that's something special.
How special is this for the seniors who didn't even know if they would have a season to now make it for the 4th year in a row to the playoffs?
Unbelievable. Like you said, we were just happy and thankful that we were going to get the opportunity to play. Like I said, we didn't know if we were going to get a chance to play, and they worked since June the 8th. They've been working just like everybody else has, and we've been real fortunate here at Hayes High School that we haven't gotten shut down like some schools have, but we're just so happy and proud that they've had the opportunity to play. But to have this kind of success just puts icing on the cake.
Well, congratulations, Coach, and good luck in the playoffs.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
They got a lot of icing on the cake. 4 years in a row, Jeff. 4 years in a row. That means these seniors have made playoff appearances their entire high school career. That says a lot about this football team.
It sure does. I love to see those winning programs almost as much as I love to see winning programs with a ton of talent. And Emily, there's a team I'm about to show that has definitely a ton of talent.
I'm ready.
I'm talking about the LBJ Jaguars. You've seen them up close and personal. Now it's time for our viewers to check them out. Now the Jags, coming up to this point, have just been dominating people in the playoffs. They have actually been outscoring their opponents by about 57 points per playoff game. It sounds like the highlights are rolling. Let's keep them going. Some playoff action here. LBJ kicked off their 3rd round game against CALALLEN tonight. That Jags defense is loaded with stars and dudes who make huge plays, and they didn't disappoint today. A fumble recovery led to Oscar Gordon III running the zone read to perfection. He put on the afterburners, and 23 yards later was in for 6. And if Oscar can run that play that well, why call anything else? Same play, same guy, same result. LBJ marches on to the 4th round. Final score in this one, 38-24. Emily, I hope you didn't go far because I need some more scores from you. What's going on around Central Texas?
Jeff, you know I'm standing 6 feet away from you. I'm keeping that socially distant, but right with you, Jeff. All right, San Marcos was looking for their first district win of the season, and they finally got it, a shutout, 21-0. And then Lehman was hoping to find a district win against Seguin. Unfortunately for them, that did not happen. Seguin demolished them 49-7.
Oh, no. Well, you know what? Since we have updated you on those scores, looks like we can loop back around to a private school score here. Regents has been to the state championship 4 straight years. That is 4 straight years Regents has gone to the state championship, and plays like this are part of the reason why. Josh Franklin with the interception on the far sideline. Josh had to reach and show off some flexibility on that play. Then we watched Trevor Tezak show off a ton of strength. Just like my Thanksgiving Day plates, Trevor ordered 2nd helpings of broken tackles. The guys from Regents could be in line for another run to the big game. They won tonight 51-6. Well, guys, we have updated you on 8 games so far, and we have much more left to show you. Scores, highlights, our Band of the Week, and our Play of the Week nominees are all coming up next. Welcome back to Friday Football Fever. She's Emily John Greco. I'm Jeff Jones. And Emily, one school in town that has really surprised me all season has been Johnson High School down in Buda. Now, this is their first year of full varsity play, and despite being new at this, they opened the year 5-2 and looked like a surefire shot to make the playoffs.
Yeah, they finally got to see what a playoff opponent looked like. The Jaguars were hosting a dripping Springs team that has only lost one district game in the entire 4 seasons.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Well, a lot of force tonight. A lot of force tonight. All right, let's roll the highlights. Dripping Springs versus Johnson. Austin Novosad hands it off to Preston Alford, who's off to the races, and our photographer almost gets annihilated by the ref. He's like, get out the way, get out the way. But he got the touchdown, so that's all that matters. Good job, Hakey. Then it's the Jags' turn, and Josh Garcia, no related to Jake, is in the end zone for a Johnson touchdown. Your final in this one, Dripping Springs keeping that winning streak going, 44, Johnson 24.
All right, let's go back to the playoffs. The low point of the regular season for Lexington was a 35-point loss to Franklin. Tonight, the Eagles had a chance at payback in the third round. We saw a handful of nice plays from Lexington, but this game was all about Franklin. The Eagles' season ends in the third round, actually. They trailed 28-zip in the second. Final score in this one, 40-7. Guys, let's go ahead and get back to today's playoff action. And really, one team that I've been keeping an eye on, and I hope that you have too, has been LAGO VISTA. Emily, you remember we had the Vikings in one of our games of the week. It was in the middle of last month against LLANO. Things did not go their way back then, but today in the third round, they had a chance to win for a possible rematch against LLANO.
Guess what? Guess what number is coming up again, Jeff?
What's that?
4.
Okay.
4. They've won 4 straight, and with this win, they could set up a playoff rematch against LLANO. 4. I'm telling you guys, if you guys are playing the lottery or whatever, let's do the number 4.
That's the number 4?
Let's do the number 4.
I think you guys have already won the lotto because you get to hang out with us and watch highlights. And
True.
Speaking of the highlights, let's go ahead and roll them. We're talking about LAGO VISTA, and they faced 11-1 Industrial in the third round. And early on, Vikings kick returner Ethan Helton ran like a bat out of Helton on this way to a 76-yard touchdown. So how would the guys from LAGO one up that play? Well, how about with a tipped ball that Noah Yetley grabbed and took back for a 92-yard pick six? Who needs offensive scores when you have guys like Ethan and Noah scoring on special teams and on defense? The Vikings move on to the state quarterfinals. They win 18-14. But who will they play in the next round?
Hey, Jeff, I think I got that answer for you.
Oh, yeah?
All right, here we got LAGO VISTA, or you just read LAGO VISTA. I'm just kidding. We got Jourdanton and LLANO. Jourdanton's quarterback Cole Andrus sacked by Guillermo Davila, but it wasn't really enough to bring the Indians down. Andrus is back up. He throws it to Brett Berg, Mr. Berg, for all my Seinfeld fans out there. And that is a touchdown for Jourdanton. LLANO ready to answer back, though. Case Kirkendall finds Quincy Prince more like king. He runs it into the end zone like bow down. I just tied it up 7-7. Indians are ready to overthrow the king, though. Andrus to Jarrell Lilly for the touchdown. LLANO moves on. They win it. Final score 31-14.
Newman. Yeah, I heard you say Seinfeld, so I wanted to throw my 2 cents in there, guys. Let's keep the playoff action rolling to the 2A playoffs. And Mason had the toughest draw possible. The top-ranked 2A team in the state, Shiner. Mason beat Shiner in the postseason back in 2017, but 2020 is about as different as it gets from 2017 for a number of reasons. The Comanches went up early and stayed up. Mason falls in this one, 56-0. Well, guys, Friday nights this year are pretty different. Like I just told you, 2020 is a weird year. We've seen decreased fan capacity. We have to play by different rules this year, but there is one thing that has stayed the same. That is that bands all across our state try to bring that atmosphere every single Friday night. So what we try to do is honor them and award them by naming one band our Band of the Week every single week. This week, that honor goes to the band at Westlake. Well, welcome back to Friday Football Fever. She's Emily John Greco. I'm Jeff Jones. And guys, today Longhorns football fans saw their favorite team, UT, fall to Iowa State 23-20. Emily, this means the Longhorns are not going to the Big 12 championship, and that's a reality that fans hate that they're growing accustomed to.
Jeff, we keep bringing up the number 4. This time it's not in a good way. They have now not won or gone to the Big 12 championship in 4 seasons. I will say they haven't won it since 2009. They've only played for it once in the last 4 seasons. Not a good look.
Not a good look for anyone, and especially in a program like Texas. Many of y'all watched the game. We're going to remind you of what happened. You know, at times today, things look promising, and honestly, had the Horns won the game, they would have likely found themselves back in the conference championship game. I expect them to get 2 more victories to close out the regular season, but a late Iowa State touchdown and a missed 57-yard field goal kept that from happening. The fact that the Horns will go another season without a conference championship is causing some Texas fans to wonder if Tom Herman is the right coach to lead the program going forward. Coach Herman's 63% winning percentage at UT isn't awful, but it's short of that Texas standard that we always hear about. Today after the game, he and a few team captains were asked if Tom Herman is the right man to lead this program.
That's not for me to decide on. You know, I feel like, you know, where we have the program right now compared to where it was when we took over, the future is very bright. And, you know, we've won a lot of big games in our time here.
I really don't listen to the opinions of, you know, people outside of, you know, Texas football. I respect Coach Herman, and I think he's fit to lead this team.
Really respect Coach Herman, and I'm so thankful for him for the opportunity that I've had to play at this great university. And I do believe that he is the right guy.
Well, while Tom Herman and the players may not have control over the future of this program coaching-wise, the one thing they did have control of was the future of their season, and today's loss officially put them out of the Big 12 championship. It's an unfortunate way to go, but that's what happens when you play to your opponent. We're constantly hearing how talented this team is, but they're unable to put all the ingredients together and cook up a nice meal, so the seniors and leaders of this team, Sam Ehlinger, leave hungry. He ends his career without a championship. A tough feeling for Ehlinger and a tough feeling for the guys who are close with him and have watched him pour his heart out for UT.
My heart is broken for this senior class and everything that they have worked for 4 years. 2020 this game has pretty much summed it up for us.
It hurts a lot. We get to spend a lot of time together. Obviously, he's my roommate. Just know the work that he's put in this year. We all put in. Just trying to keep everybody humble. Seeing him going out with a loss on senior night just really hurts my soul.
All right, so not the way that they want to go out, obviously. Really unfortunate for the seniors. You know, everyone was eating. They were stuffed yesterday from Thanksgiving. And like I said, Jeff, I know you really liked that line. The Longhorns are staying hungry.
They're staying hungry, and, you know, 2 games left against Kansas State and Kansas. I think they're going to pick up those wins, but we'll just have to see. You know, somebody who I think will definitely get a win tonight or tomorrow could be you. I am in the mood to give out a few of these free Friday Football Fever t-shirts. Oh, the wind is taking this one away again. Emily, will you grab a hold of that? Yeah. I'm going to ask my man Brian Bell, our photographer, to take a picture. I'll grab that picture from Brian. I'm going to post that picture on my Facebook, my Instagram, and my Twitter at Jeff Jones Sports. And at random, I'm going to pick one person on each social media platform who follows me and who comments on that picture where the wind tried to blow this way from Emily and I. I'll go ahead and let you know how I can FedEx this to you very, very soon. Go get your free t-shirt. We'll be right back after this. Emily, it is time for one of my favorite parts of the show, time to honor and recognize our PEC Power Player of the Week.
Yeah, that's right, Jeff. It's our time to celebrate those who get good grades, give back to the community, and contribute to the overall fun on a Friday night.
We have a young man who does all of those things and more. I'd like to wish congratulations to Robin Sambis. Robin is a junior in ROTC at Westwood. He also is brilliant. He competes in Academics Bowl and recently advanced to the Nationals in that competition. As we all know, it's impressive when a student is a member of one honor society. Robin is a member of 4. Emily, that's that number again, 4. The National Honor Society, the Technical Honor Society, the National French Honor Society, and a group called Kitty Hawk, which is the ROTC Honor Society. In his spare time, Robin likes to donate his time. He has completed over 80 hours of community service, including cleaning up parks and volunteering at animal shelters.
Being part of my community, it makes me feel like I belong somewhere. It helps me really get to know that I'm contributing to something bigger than just me. ROTC, it really helps me contribute to the people around me and give back to what they've given me. You know, I've had all these opportunities to grow, and I'm just trying to give back and help them grow as much as they've let me.
Welcome back to Friday Football Fever. Now, each and every week we see hundreds of awesome high school plays. It's our job to pick 3 of our favorites as our Austin Telco Big Save of the Week nominees. Check out our nominees this week. We start with a play from one of the early games. DBs practice something called the tip drill, and this is why. Lago Vista's Noah Yeatley grabbed the deflected pass and took it 92 yards to the house. This touchdown in the second quarter put the Vikings on top by 4 and ended up being the game-winning score.
I got your second nominee. You saw it earlier. Austin High quarterback and UT commit Charles Wright found Mr. Wright Jackson Rush for a 99-yard touchdown to help the Maroons get the win today over the Cardinals.
The Maroons. Last up is a play that I had to watch in slow motion to fully appreciate. When you have receivers like Bowie's Jason Gaines, it's easy to toss it up and just watch him work. Jason did some kind of crazy gymnast move in midair. He twisted 360 degrees while perpendicular to the ground. One word for this, wow. And Emily, I think word of the night, perpendicular.
Perpendicular.
Didn't expect to hear that one on Friday Football Fever, did you?
I like it.
Now that you guys have seen our 3 nominees, it's time for you to vote on which one you like the best. You do that by going to my Twitter page at Jeff Jones Sports. In maybe 2 minutes, I'm going to post the poll, and then you just let me know which play you like most. We'll re-air that Tuesday in the 6 p.m. show. For Emily, our photographer Brian Bell, and everyone else who works hard to put these shows on, I'm Jeff Jones. Thank you for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow with more local sports news.